Hey everybody, I'm Steve at the Carmichael Workshop, and today I'm going to show you how I made this really cool remote control LED acrylic sign for my neighbor down the street at Rob's Woodshop, daycare for adults. I started by taping down this 9x12 piece of clear acrylic that my neighbor gave me. I like to use blue tape between the carpet tape and MDF so it doesn't tear up the MDF when I remove it. This project began back when I got the Shapeoko 2. My neighbor just gave me his logo, I imported it into easel, and then carved it real shallow into the acrylic. If you want to make one of these signs and you don't have a CNC machine, just search YouTube for Xcarve or Shapeoko 2 and I'm sure you'll find lots of people that could help you out. I measured out a piece of walnut that's the same width as the sign and cut it to length. And then I cut down a couple of 3/4 inch strips. I cut a piece of maple 3 inches wide to be the base. And then I mounted the maple on the Xcarve and it carved out a 1/8 inch deep groove. And this was for the LED strip to be recessed in. I also used it to drill the hole for the electronics, partial way through the board. I cut the piece of maple to length so that the groove would be centered, and then I drilled a hole from the back edge that meets up with the previous hole, and that would provide access for the electrical wire. I glued the strips of walnut on each side of the groove so that the sign would fit down snugly in between them. The groove is actually 1/2 inch shorter than the width of the sign, so the sign actually rests on the surface of the maple. There wasn't a good way to clamp these strips on, so I just held them in place while the glue dried, and luckily I had a cold beverage nearby. I set the miter gauge on my table saw to 15 degrees and then cut 2 small pieces of walnut to finish framing out the base of the sign. Again, there wasn't a good way to clamp these, so I just held them into place until the glue set. I bought this remote control LED light strip kit from eBay for about $12, and then I just cut it to the correct length. But before I installed them, I finished the base of the sign with a few coats of spray lacquer. After the finish was dry, I fed the LED light strip through the access holes and into the groove. I removed the protective backing from the self-adhesive strip. And then I used the tweezers to stick the LED light strip down into the 1/8 inch groove. Now for the fun part. I connected all of the electronics and plugged them into an outlet. Then I inserted the sign into the base and I turned out the lights so that we could see what the sign looks like. Visit my website at thecarmichaelworkshop.com for more detailed instructions, photos, and links to the supplies that I used in this project. Well, this project was a lot of fun to make, and I think my buddy Rob is going to love his new sign. I'm glad I went with the RGB LEDs that can make the sign change colors, and I like how you can use the remote to set it to a solid color or switch between these fading and flashing modes. I've got pretty much the whole reel of LEDs left over, so I guess I need to order myself another remote control box and a power adapter so that I can make myself one of these cool signs. So if you like this project, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions about what I did to make this, just leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, welcome. I'd like to have you subscribe to my channel and also check out all my other projects. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.